What's up, guys? Welcome back to the news portion of today's Shots episode. I am Dan Thury, your bartender at Thury BFF, the one, the only, two motherfucking shots. Here to bring you guys, like I said, the new stuff today. You can find me on Twitter at Beer, the show page at Beer for Fantasy FF. I am Dan Thury at Thury BFF. I'm somehow really fucking tired right now. I'm just getting excited to get ready to get packed up, ready to go back home. You can follow my wonderful co-hosts, Nick Sparks at Nick Sparks with the Z and an S, and then Christopher Hopper at Hot BFF with two P's. Just more injury news, obviously the luck news, and then just kind of updates on some of the more notable fantasy players that have been popping up on injury reports or just more updates. So the big news today is that it looks like Andrew Luck, this is per Zach Kiefer via Twitter, this has been all over SleeperBot and things like that over the last few hours. It's starting to look like Andrew Luck's going to miss there's a possibility that Andrew Luck can miss the entire season now. He was injured today during practice. He suffered a setback. He got a cortisone shot in his shoulder, and he's not going to practice again for the rest of the week. So it's probably setting him back at least another 2 weeks. And depending on the Colts, what the record is, where they stand in terms of making the playoffs, they could shut Luck down for the season. A lot of people like myself advise people, and the show have advised people to start dropping Luck in 10, 12 team formats. He has value in 16 teams still, as just the amount of quarterbacks and the waivers are going to probably be pretty small. He was definitely droppable in 2 QB leagues. You can hold on to him a little bit, but I think it's time to start cutting that cord now. Even when he comes back, he's gonna be a little bit rusty. He's gonna have to take about a week or two to get ready, and by that time, we might be already in fantasy playoffs. We might already be, getting prepared. To end of that time, and you can't trust a guy like Luck, who's been banged up and hurt, hasn't played all season, and it really depends when he gets back. I'm looking to drop him when it makes sense in my 16-team league. I've been holding on to him. I actually suffered a week 1 loss because I couldn't play quarterback because I had Luck and Winston, and there was no IR and 2 QB max because douchebags. I almost won. I would have won if I would have picked up a quarterback, but hindsight is it's starting to get that time, and then don't just drop him to drop him. If you have an IR, hopefully he's been on your IR, unless you need to remove him from there. Otherwise, yeah, sorry to the people that have been holding on to him. This is per Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. I don't think this is the actual truth, but this is what they believe, is that Aaron Jones could retake the backfield in Week 7. This is all under the whole notion that Green Bay is going to move to a more run-heavy offense with the injured Rodgers. Aaron Jones is more of a true running back than the Tom Montgomery is. Montgomery was, as we all know, a converted receiver into running back. He hasn't been fantastic running the football. He's only averaged just above 3 yards per carry. He's only had 1 run above 10 yards this season. And without Rodgers and his ability to create in the pocket and to roll out and find Montgomery or those amazing checkdowns because of how much you have to respect Rodgers, it takes a lot more out of Montgomery. And Jones looked good 2 weeks ago, and then looked completely shit against the Vikings, but a lot of players did in that game. I don't know how much I really believe this. I think this is more... it makes sense because you lost Rodgers, but you still have Jordy, you still have Randall Cobb, you still have Devonta Adams, you still have Martellus Bennett, you still have weapons on the outside that you can take advantage of. And I know that Brent Hundley looked like shit against a really good Vikings defense. He's going to get better. I don't completely see this, though I do believe that Jones and Montgomery will end up seeing very similar carry count, but I think Montgomery will still see majority of the actual pass catching work and things like that. But this is something to keep an eye on. This is something that you want to be made aware of. And if you have Ty Montgomery, after he has a good game, it may be time to try to sell him before trade deadlines, especially if you need another running back, a little more safer running back, a little more trustworthy running back, and a wide receiver, things like that. So just keep that in mind. Some more injury stuff. The ever so truthful and what we have come to expect as football fans and especially fantasy football fans is that another Patriot has shown up on the injury report. This is Chris Hogan for ribs. This is per Nora Franciati via Twitter. This is stemming over from his game against the Jets over the weekend. He went out, came back in, was really ineffective. He only saw 4 targets and caught 1. He had a really bad game in terms of that. This is just going to have to wait and see. Hogan was nice. It was a nice story, but if he can't stay healthy, it could be more of a Cooks. Amendola obviously is healthy, and Gronk show. But just stay tuned. Hopefully you sold him like I told you to last week. Mariota was full practice today, as DeMarco Murray was at DMP today. It's good to see that Mariota was a full participant today. Looks like he's putting his injury behind him. Moving forward, hopefully they let him loose this weekend, and we get to see the good old patented Mariota large rushing yards and touchdowns while he's throwing pretty well. I don't expect Murray to really practice much this week. He's shown before he doesn't need to practice and still be effective and still start. Plus, hamstrings don't really just go away. You need to nurse them as well as you can. Easy matchup against Cleveland this week, which is why I like Derrick Henry. Shout out to my previous episode on certain sits. I think Henry gets the majority of the work. Even though Murray will start, I think Henry will see and have his own and then end up just out-touching him like crazy because they don't really need them. They really don't need DeMarco this week. I can even see him not playing this week and giving them that rest even more so. Couple Jets news. Both Robbie Anderson and Bilal Powell did not practice today. Bilal Powell has not been cleared to practice. Looks like he may not play this weekend. Both of these players are stay tuned. Robbie Anderson is at best a flex play. Powell is in the same boat. When Powell comes back, it just makes things more murky in that backfield, which is why we didn't like it to begin with. These are just notes for people that may be using one or the other. There's words. Kelvin Benjamin was a DMP today as well. Knee injury. This sounds like it's the same knee injury that was bothering him to start the season. This isn't great. He's been able to practice in full the last couple weeks, so at least have been full for most of each week. Really hasn't shown up on the injury report. But now that he has, there's something you have to keep an eye on. If you own him, just be prepared to have somebody in place to pick him up. For the Funchess owner, this is huge, as you get the Bears suspect pass defense, things like that. Next, couple more pieces here. Stephon Diggs again was DNP today. He didn't practice at all last week. Again, he's starting the same week as he did last week. For as good as Diggs is when he's healthy, obviously you can see how elite he actually is when he's healthy. When he's hurt, though, it really slows him down. It really shows. You saw it last year. You saw it 2 years ago. But it looks like right now he's truly 50-50. If you're a Diggs owner, be prepared. Just like Benjamin, just be ready for your next replacement. Thankfully, in Diggs' case, you had your replacement hopefully last week. This week, you should look to have that again. Even if Diggs go, they draw a tough opponent in Baltimore, one of the better pass defenses in the league. I know they look like they could be missing Jimmy Smith again, but the rookie Adam Humphries, hopefully got that right, out of Alabama, has been pretty good this year from as a rookie. They still have Weddle, they still have Darius Webb, they still have Tony Jefferson. They have a good secondary and a very good pass rush. Dick doesn't go, obviously, big bump to Thielen again, as we saw last week. Speaking of Baltimore, though, Macklin did practice in full today. If you're relying on Macklin, I'm sorry, but he looks to be back on track to play against the Vikings, so that's good there. I'm sorry that you have to rely on him if you do. He's at best a mid to low flex play. Like the Ravens, the Vikings have a very good secondary. It's unknown if Rhodes would shadow anybody. If he does, my bet would be on Wallace more than Macklin. Macklin doesn't go. Chris Moore sees an uptick in work. But it looks like Macklin should be on track to play Sunday. Just keep in check on that. That's all the news we got today. Sorry for stumbling in and out of this. I'm half awake, trying to watch the Wolves game here while I get ready to go on the road and leave for Minnesota tomorrow. Tomorrow you'll get Nick. As I said, he will be doing his Anything Can Happen Thursday, whatever segment he has got thought of. Hopper, again, may or may not have his DFS up posted late Friday. Otherwise, look for that Saturday morning. Then Nick will be back on again Saturday to do his ins and outs. A lot of these players will know a lot more by then. So you guys will get me back on Tuesday. Everything will kind of fall in line and same as it was before. That's all I got. You guys have a great night, and good luck to you guys in Week 7. Hopefully you can withstand some victories. Shout out to the Ballers. Peace.